Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a video from the Backcourt Press YouTube channel. I'm Hunter Mednick, your host for today, and I run the Backcourt Press Instagram page and YouTube video alongside my co-host Zach Vinci. I'm going to start doing a little bit more of these reaction videos, whether it's to an article or to a YouTube video or to anything you guys find as well. I just wanted to grow my YouTube channel. This is what I'm going to look to start doing. Just my reaction videos. I already run the Instagram page, a lot of that. Where we go in depth on pretty much all things NBA, whether it's history, present day stuff, any of that good stuff. So I'm going to be today reacting to yesterday was the NBA draft. So I'll be reacting to this Bleacher report that's live grades for every single every pick in the 2021 NBA draft. If you like this kind of content, please like this video, comment any of your thoughts on what I'm going to talk about, and feel free to subscribe and go follow the Instagram page. All of that would mean the world to me. And without further ado, let's get right into this article. So we'll start off, obviously, with the Detroit Pistons, who I think had a very good draft. But starting off with Cade Cunningham, this came to no surprise. I believe everyone knew that Cade Cunningham was the best prospect in this draft. And I'm very glad Detroit didn't overthink it and they took it. As they say, he has superstar potential, 6'8" point guard, in my opinion. But he could also run the 2 and the 3. I know there's been a lot of rumors that they're going to keep Killian Hayes at that 1 spot and run Cade Cunningham at the 2 guard or the 3 at small forward position. I think it'd be very interesting to see how Killian and Cade Cunningham fit together, if that's what they're looking to do. But they also have the great young pieces like Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey, who I think are going to make even bigger jumps next year than they did this year in their rookie year, who also played amazing their rookie year. So I think this team's going to be very interesting in the future, and I love to see how they continue this rebuild. They gave him an A+. If you get the top prospect with the number 1 overall pick, that's an A+. So sure, go with it. Number 2, the Houston's with Jalen Green. I like this pick fit-wise, and they have a franchise face. That's the perfect way to put it for Bleacher Report. He's after losing James Harden, they kind of needed that guy. They wanted it to be Kevin Porter Jr. for a little bit. Maybe Christian Wood, but he was on injuries a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jalen Green fits. He's most likely going to run the 2 guard with Kevin Porter Jr. at the 1. Jayshawn Tate will be in that lineup. Eric Gordon's most likely going to get moved. We know Christian Wood's going to run the 4 or the 5 in Houston. But I do like this pick a lot. I think that Jalen Green was the 3rd best prospect in this draft. I really liked Evan Mobley a little bit more as just a all-around better player. But I understand the Jalen Green pick, as you already have your franchise center in Christian Wood, who they gave some money to the last offseason. And I think that the fit of Mobley at the 4, I'm not a huge fit of that with Wood at the 5. I prefer the Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. backcourt. And I always love when rebuilding teams start with their backcourt and then work their way into the front court. So that's why I agree with this. I probably would have given it an A just because they did pass up on Evan Mobley, who I think is going to end up with a better career. But Jalen Green, still going to be one of the flashiest players in this year's draft and has the potential to be the best scorer in this draft. And that was no surprise. The Cavaliers got their guy in Evan Mobley. Most likely he's going to be running the power forward position next to Jarrett Allen. The only difference is he can spread the 4, hit the mid-range shot Mobley, so I like that fit a little bit more. He's a dream screen setter and pick and rolls with above the rim finishing. He can do everything with that for that power forward center position. I really like his fit with their other young player, Darius Garland, who I think is their future. As I think everyone knows, Colin Sexton's most likely on his way out due to pay. But yeah, Mobley's defensive ability is going to be incredible. No one's going to want to drive in on Mobley and Jarrett Allen if they do bring back Jarrett Allen for next year. And I really just like, I think Mobley, this was the correct pick. I would have given it an A+. Honestly, I really like this fit. Mobley in Cleveland, depending on if they keep Allen or if they don't, if they let him walk. So I think he was the right pick. I had no questions about it. He could be a defensive player of the year kind of guy. He's such a great big man. I'm excited. Now this pick, Scotty Barnes, I think this surprised a lot of people, but I really like the pick. I like the fit more so. I know on the Backcourt Press with me and my co-host, when we were talking about the Toronto Raptors, we thought they were in a very interesting spot because we all know that Kyle Lowry is probably on his way out. So do you try and keep Fred VanVleet to be the shooting guard position, try and find a point guard next to him? Or do you try and bring back Gary Trent Jr. to play the 2 and let Fred VanVleet run his natural position, which is the 1? I really was in favor of letting Fred VanVleet run that 1 spot and become more of a playmaker, which I think that he could have been his whole career, but he was playing next to another short guard in Kyle Lowry. And I thought Jalen Suggs, my apologies, was pretty much going to be Kyle Lowry. Like, I think that is who he could become with his potential. And so I really was hoping that they would do this pick because I wanted to see Fred VanVleet run the point guard position. And I think Scotty Barnes could be the power forward of the future if Pascal Siakam is on his way out. So I'm very happy about this pick. I know they gave it a B minus. I would have probably given it like a B plus, A minus type spot. I know that they passed up on Suggs. That's a lot to risk with Suggs on the board. Suggs was the safer pick, but if they're going to go for what is known as one of the hardest workers in the draft and very good defensively, I really like this pick from Scotty Barnes. Magic, I love this pick to get Jalen Suggs, although they have a very crowded backcourt with Markelle, RJ Hampton, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs. It seems like they just have all these young prospects at the point guard position. But if one of them pans out, it's going to be Jalen Suggs. He has the playmaking ability, the leadership ability that I think none of the other guys truly have. And I really do like this pick. I think he could be the perfect point guard to get them going alongside guys like Jonathan Isaac, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter. Those guys all have high upside. I love the grading of an A. I would have given it a very similar grade. Now, as a Warriors fan, this was the pick that had me shaking because I had no idea what the Thunder were going to do. And I was really hoping to get Jonathan Kuminga at 7. And the Thunder granted my wishes and took Josh Giddey. And for a while, I was hesitant about this pick. I really didn't like it at first. But more and more I look into it, I think Giddey could have been I think he's a top 5 prospect in this draft. Like I almost like Giddey a little more than I like Jalen Suggs. He's 6'8". He won't even turn 19 until October. He's super young and he knows how to run an offense. He's been incredible out in Australia. He reminds me a lot of like LaMelo Ball. I know that sounds crazy, but like him and LaMelo Ball, it's just, I think Giddey's a better defender. I don't know if he can shoot as well because we all know about the overseas players. Can they shoot? Can they not? Most of the time they can. So that's why I'm going to say that I'm not really worried about Josh Giddey's shooting yet. He's also only 18 years old. But what they say, he already manipulates defenses with quick changes of speed and direction, and his understanding of passing angles points to instincts beyond his years. I really like this pick. I think Shea can be a very good 2 guard next to Josh Giddey at the 1. I know a lot of people saying he's going to be like a 3. I don't know about that. I really like him at the point guard position with Shea as the 2 or vice versa, either one. Just this is your backcourt for the future, and I really like it. The only thing with my OKC is they probably could have moved back. I saw Josh Giddey in the, I would say, 10 to 14 range in most mock drafts. So if I'm OKC, I would have looked to trade back and get more trade assets because why not? You're Sam Presti, you could do that. And still get the same guy, but they didn't risk it. They went with the guy that they wanted at number 6, and I respect it. I would have given this probably about a B. I think that they could have moved up, but I really like the fit of Giddey next to Shea. And then the Golden State Warriors, my team got our guy. We got a defensive-minded small forward to put next to Clay, Dre, and Steph Curry. Although I know a lot of people are saying he doesn't fit the timeline. He was averaging about 16 points per game in the G League this year, which is up against, I watched him play against our Golden State Warriors G League, who had guys like Nico Maney and Jordan Poole. Those guys were Michael Mulder. Those guys were actually getting minutes on the Golden State Warriors team late in the season, and he was dominating against them. A lot of people are saying he doesn't have any, his outside shooting wasn't great. I tend to disagree. I really like his form, and I think he can just get a bucket when he wants to. But I also think that he could just be a really, really good defensive player. And especially if he's under guys like Andrew Wiggins, who has a very, very good mid-range shot that he could learn from, behind Draymond Green, who's a very good defender. I think this was the perfect pick for the Warriors, and I'm very glad that he fell to us. I know a lot of people were saying to take Bouknight instead. I disagree. I like that Kuminga fit a little bit more. I think Kuminga could be starting by the end of the season at just 19 years old. I know that sounds crazy, but if we end up trading Wiggins and Wiseman, I think that Kuminga's next up at that small forward position. So I really, really like this pick. I would have given it like an A- because we were going to risk it to draft like a Davion Mitchell who would come in and automatically be our backup point guard, where I think Kuminga has the potential later in his career, or even in the next 2 to 3 years next to Curry and Clay, to start at the small forward position. So I'm very happy about this pick. I don't really have much to talk about with the Orlando Magic taking Franz Wagner. I think the Magic just wanted Kuminga, so they took a worse Kuminga and Franz Wagner. He really doesn't have much to do. He's a good defensive player, but his offense is really, really rough right now. He doesn't have much like of a dribble package. You know, he says he brings spot up shooting, secondary playmaking. Like that's not stuff that I would want at the number 8 pick. I really didn't like this pick. I would have taken Bouknight or even Moses Moody if I'm the Magic, but they obviously saw something in Franz Wagner. I think a C+ is even a little high. Wagner can do a lot of things to help good teams win games. Why would the Magic be drafting someone that can help them win games? I don't know. Sure, I'll take it. The Sacramento Kings taking Davion Mitchell. I was happy about this until I realized Buddy Hield did not get traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, because now they just have so many guards that I'm not really sure what they're doing with it. I would have liked the Magic or the Kings to take Franz Wagner. I thought that was going to be the pick, but with the Magic took them ahead, I was like, oh, I don't know what they're going to do now. He converted just 65% of his free throws across 3 college seasons. He's a good defender. This is more to me that they're going to be trading De'Aaron Fox or Buddy Hield and running Tyrese and Mitchell. I see that most likely happening now, because I don't really like the fit of Mitchell behind them. De'Aaron Fox, I really like Tyrese. I think he'll be the starting shooting guard, even though he's playing out of position. I think he'll play next to De'Aaron. I think Mitchell will come off the bench for a couple seasons, but he's already 22. So by the time he might start, he might already be 24, 25 years old and only in his third year. So it's very interesting to see a 22-year-old go so high. They don't really work out most of the time. So I'm hoping that Mitchell can, define the odds and hopefully have a good career in Sacramento and maybe make Sacramento close to a playoff team, because Sacramento hasn't been that for a while. This was probably the most surprising pick in the draft for me, was the Memphis Grizzlies trading away their center, who was the second best player on their team last year, to take a guy they probably could have gotten at 17, as Zaire Williams. He has a lot of upside. He's a 6'10" shot creator, super lengthy. I could definitely see him catching a lot of lobs and running great in transition with John Morant. He's, to me, probably going to be a better Kyle Anderson. Like, he'll definitely probably be better than Kyle Anderson in his career, just because of the way that their offense is run. I really do like this pick, because he seems like he's a great fast break guy, very speedy guy, like off pick and rolls and stuff like that. But that's more of a risk than I would take in number 10. Like, I don't understand them trading away their second best player last year and a guy who I thought fit great next to Jaren Jackson Jr. Just to move up and get a guy that, to me, they could have gotten later in the draft. So it's very interesting. I hope that normally the Grizzlies know what they're doing when it comes to drafting, so he'll probably end up panning out, but who knows? The Charlotte Hornets getting Bouknight. I think this is a perfect fit, with most likely Malik Monk leaving the team. Terry Rozier might be leaving soon due to, he might be getting bank and free agency, and another team might want to pay them on a good winning team. I think Bouknight could be that shooting guard of the future next to Mel. He's just a shot creator. He can get his own bucket. Yep, natural, effortless shot creator. Pile up a bunch of points right out the gate. I completely agree. I think this is a great pick. He was the best player available, and if I'm the Charlotte Hornets, that's what you do. And you got lucky and got a fit player as well. So grade A, I completely agree with that. This was, selecting the youngest player in the draft for San Antonio is something they very rarely do, especially a guy like Joshua Primo out of Alabama. Very surprised about this. They gave him a D. I think Popovich and the Spurs know what they're doing. So I would never give the Spurs grade a D. Probably want to give it like a C. Because with guys like Duarte, Moses Moody still on the board, even Keon Johnson. I can't say I saw this coming. Primo wasn't even a lock for the first round, let alone the lottery. But yep, the Spurs saw something like I think they could have traded down. I think they kind of reached because Josh Giddey was off the board so fast, and that's who they really wanted. So interesting to see how Primo's career turns out. But I think they reached a lot, and I would have traded back. The Indiana Pacers selecting Chris Duarte. As a Warriors fan, this pick made me very happy. This was what I was surprised about, is they selected another old point guard behind Malcolm Brogdon, who was already an older point guard for where he is in his career. So it's very interesting to see them trying to just possibly, if they're going to trade Malcolm Brogdon, replace him with another old point guard. I mean, think about it. Primo, who went above him, is 18. He's 6 years older than Primo, and he's getting drafted in the same draft. So that's pretty crazy stuff. But Pacers know what they're doing. Most of the time when it comes to draft, sometimes when it comes to drafting, they mostly make trades for those mediocre players, but I don't think Duarte puts them over the hump of that 6 to 10 seed. I think the Pacers are going to stay like that for a while. This pick, Moses Moody, is going to be such a great bench player for the Warriors. This made me so happy when he fell to us again, because I had Moody going to the Warriors at 7 a couple of times, and we got him at 14. That is an amazing, amazing pick. He's going to, 3-and-D wing. He's going to come right out the gates and be able to bring us valuable minutes off the bench, something we didn't have, like a 3-and-D type guy off the bench. I think Jordan Poole is our closest guy to that, but he can play a lick of defense. Moody is going to, we took that prospect in Kuminga, and now we're getting a very valuable player to come off our bench, Moses Moody, who I think could learn a lot off ball from Klay Thompson, because right now he's very, very solid on the ball. And I think that with how our offense is run, he can definitely get to that off ball like elite status very, very quickly. One of my favorite things when I was watching highlights of his is his mid-range game. The Warriors, although people say we love to shoot a lot of threes, our offense primarily runs through the mid-range. And I think Moses Moody's going to fit in perfectly with that Warriors A-. I would have given it an A+ just for the fact that a guy that could have been there, we could have taken at 7, fell to us all the way at 14. So that's why I love that. I'm probably going to skim through these now. That's not the lottery, not too many big names to talk about. But Corey Kispert going to Washington. He's pretty much just another Davis Bertans. I mean, he's going to be a solid shooter in the NBA, but I don't know what else more. A grade B, I would probably give it like a B-, C+. That's really all I got to say about that, especially with them moving on from Russell Westbrook. It's just going to give more shots to Corey Kispert, so hopefully he can come in and just shoot the skin off that ball immediately. The Houston Rockets going young and getting Sengun, I love it. Why not? He's just a young guy, MVP of the Turkish League. I think he could very well come in and be a very good backup center or like a starting power forward and run Jayshawn Tate at that 3 spot for Houston. I love the pick. They might as well take a chance on a young guy who dominated in overseas. I love this pick for Houston. I would have given it like a B+, A-. Max, yeah, it might take time to find the optimal space to maximize Sengun, but he's worth the effort. I completely agree with that. This, I would have given this an A+. Yeah, they gave it an A-. The Pelicans traded back and to me got a player that was perfect for them. I see him more as a shooting guard, small forward, and I think he's the perfect 3-and-D player to put next to a guy like Brandon Ingram, Zion, if they keep Lonzo Ball, if they get Kyle Lowry. I love this pick. They traded back, got Jonas Valanciunas to run the center position, and still got a very, very good player in Trey Murphy, who I think is going to have a very good career. I love it. I think he's going to be he's just going to be a perfect player next to those guys. He's more of a fit pick rather than I don't think he can really turn into a star, just like it says here, but he can start in his role as a 6'9" shooter with defensive versatility. I love this pick. Thunder selecting Trey Mann. Just get more scores off that bench. Why not? Keep loading up that backcourt. I love it. And this is why the Charlotte Hornets also possibly won this draft, is because the guy that I had projected to them at 11 fell to them all the way at 19 as they moved up with the New York Knicks to select Kai Jones. Charlotte's having a night. I loved this pick. He's going to be a center. He'll possibly could be the starting center for that team next year. I know they just traded for Mason Plumlee and they have Cody Zeller, but I think Kai Jones's upside is going to be amazing. He gets to play with LaMelo Ball. Could be like a James Harden, Clint Capella type duo sometime in the future. I really, really love this pick. He can do everything at that center position. He's just got to work on his defense, but all of Charlotte needs to work on their defense. That's why I think this fit works so well. Hornets offense could come at teams in waves as soon as next season. I love it. I love this pick. I had him going there at 11 because I thought they needed a big man the most. Why not take the best big man available outside of Evan Mobley? And they end up falling at 19. So that's a great pick. Jalen Johnson, another prospect for the Hawks. Why not? The Hawks always draft prospects and it seems to work out most of the time. So might as well take another power forward, run Onyeka Okongwu at that backup center. He can run the backup power forward as Gallinari might be leaving, or Gallo could run the 3. I really like this pick. If you're playing with Trey Young, you're going to get open looks in the paint. So why not just draft a guy that can do that? He's worth a shot. Yep, they have enough depth where they could, if he doesn't pan out, it's okay. The Clippers selecting Keon Johnson at 21 is a steal. I love this pick. I think that he could come in right off the bat and just bring like backup shooting guard minutes. I know like him and Terrence Mann could really just be very bright spots on that offense next year, because it's probably going to be Reggie Jackson at the 1, Paul George at the 2, and then coming off the bench is Terrence Mann and Keon Johnson, 2 guys that have so much potential in this league. I love it. He has the tools to be an on-ball defender. I'm never going to say he's a good defender until he proves it in the league, but he has the tools to be a good defender. He's super athletic. Just to get a guy that a lot of people had in their lottery at 21 is a steal, especially for the Clippers who are looking to compete until Kawhi comes back. I love this pick. The Pacers selecting Isaiah Jackson. Don't honestly know much about him. They gave up Aaron Holiday in 31 to get this pick. I really liked Aaron Holiday, so him going to the Wizards I think could be fun. But why not get another big man if you're the Pacers? Due to the fact that Miles Turner might be on his way out, especially if you're getting a guy from Kentucky, he probably will pan out and have a solid career. And these next 2 picks are another reason why the Houston Rockets won this draft. Usman Garuba out of Real Madrid. He just has really good upside, especially as a power forward or a center, whatever you want. He's just a big man guy, and they don't right now. All of their big men pretty much can shoot the ball. And so him being a more traditional big man, I really, really like this pick for the Houston Rockets. And then them getting Josh Christopher, who I think fell a little bit needs more blue chip talent. So a swing for Chris Bosh seems sensible here. I think he's going to be a very solid player in this league. So I really like both of those picks for Houston. The Knicks selecting Quentin Grimes. I love the pick. Why not get a top name during the NCAA to come into the Mecca? I think this is a solid pickup. I think it's a little early to take Quentin Grimes. I had him more in my second round for mock drafts, but they saw something they liked and they did it. I'm probably just going to skim through names now that I really liked, like Cam Thomas coming off the bench. He's just a scorer, so why not put more offense with that offense? And if he's running behind Kyrie and James Harden, it's going to be hard for him to fail. Jaden Springer, I don't know if he'll play a game for Philly, as he'd probably be. Sixer. I think he could be thrown into that Ben Simmons trade as another trade piece to make a team want Ben Simmons. But if they don't trade him, he could come off the bench and be productive. I don't really see him playing many minutes in his first year, but Doc Rivers likes to play those rookie guys over the veterans, so it'll be interesting to see. Daron Sharp, get another big man, although he's probably not the best of big mans. He's a hustler, and he's a center. That's all that Brooklyn Nets needed. Memphis Grizzlies selecting. Now, I really don't know much about this guy. I learned about him in the draft. But the Memphis Grizzlies taking a guy at 30 last year. They took Desmond Bane. They saw something in this guy, and they really liked him. Now I'm just going to go through names that I saw that I really liked. The Wizards getting Isaiah Todd. I think he could be a great stretch four in this league. That was really all I saw. I know the Miles McBride pick, a lot of people liked from the New York Knicks. I think it's interesting. I don't know if he'll really get many minutes right off the gate, but it could be interesting to see how he fits in New York. And Jason Preston going to the Clippers, where Reggie Jackson might be on his way out, and he could possibly get some backup point guard minutes. I love it. Why not take a shot and make more Clippers fans happy to get a guy like Jason Preston, who everyone just loves. And the next couple, JT Thor for Charlotte, another lengthy guy. I believe, that's him. And that could be a very good fit. Ayo Dosunmu, I know a lot of Chicago Bulls fans are super high on this guy, and he's he's out of Illinois, he's out of Chicago guy going to Chicago. I love it. Why not? The Chicago Bulls fans seem to be happy, especially since they didn't have their first round pick. So if I'm Chicago, go for it. Be happy about your Illinois guy. Jared Butler going to Utah, shooter going to a shooting team, probably will work out pretty solid. And the only one noticeable one, in my opinion, is really Sharif Cooper, the Auburn point guard, how he fell all the way from, a lot of people had him in the 20s, all the way to 48 in Atlanta. And if you're going to put a small point guard behind Trey Young, he's going to be learning from Trey Young. You might as well. It's probably the best fit for him due to the fact that he's going to be learning behind such a great point guard who has very similar qualities to him. Cooper's side made no sense. I completely agree. People are saying his defense is that bad or something. I don't know. In this league, you could hide players in defense. We've seen Brad Stevens hide Isaiah Thomas. We've seen Nate McMillan hide Trey Young. We've seen Steve Kerr hide Steph Curry's defense for a long time. Even though it's not bad, it's not good. So it's just I don't understand a smaller point guard dropping, especially when we see guys like Chris Paul be good defenders. These guys have potential to be good defenders. Atlanta just taking him at 48. Why not? You guys have so much depth that it'll work out. I don't understand why he fell. Charles Bassey for the Philadelphia 76ers. I think that could be a very solid pick. I actually really, really liked that pick. And then later in this, let's see if I even recognize any of these guys. They have a high draft for this guy going to the Brooklyn Nets. If you're going to the Brooklyn Nets, you're probably going to come off the bench and possibly get some minutes when they're up by 40. So why not just learn behind those great guys? That's really all I have to say about this. I thought it was a very fun draft. I thought there were a lot of surprises. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. That was I didn't really grade a lot of them, but I gave my opinions on every single pick or most picks. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and comment your thoughts. We're going to do a lot more of this kind of content in the future. So be on the lookout. Thank you, everyone, and peace.